tidying up my garage to turn it into a lovely storeroom for all my scrap wood and all my paint and all my junk and all the rest of it. And there's still a long way to go. But inevitably, when you're doing a lot of tidying up and shifting things around, you get the odd accident. And so this beautiful Bakelite clock, which I'd been saving for ages, fell on the floor and got very badly broken. Oh no, Marky, you big dope. Let's have a look at it and see what the damage is. First, there's all these pieces of the Bakelite rim, looking like big chunks of Easter egg. There's that bit there. The Bakelite's actually quite springy. Oh, it fits in really nicely. Other bits there. Let's get rid of the glass here. All the rest of the glass is new shards. Take those out a bit at a time. Can't use those. But I wanted to put this back together again so we knew the diameter of the glass. Hope you can see this. But this piece at the back has been broken out for many years. I mean about 50 years, and that's how we got to have the clock. What do you think about that? I mean, that is a pretty handsome clock, isn't it? Late 50s, I would guess. Gents of Leicester. The movement, I don't know if you can see that, is mains movement. You don't see these very often, and that plug is completely obsolete now. Never see that, and I wonder what that little thing is for. Maybe to adjust it or something. So let's set that to one side, keep it safe. Lovely. The retention ring seems to have escaped. That's the thing that you put down to hold the glass in place, I think. But I think what I'll do is leave this to another day, because it's getting kind of late, and the way this happened was because I was feeling tired, and I make a lot of mistakes at the best of times, but when I'm tired I make a lot more of them. Okay, let's leave this to another day. First in the jigsaw puzzle, don't you? So I think that goes like that. And that sits in like that. I wonder if I put that bit in first.
Instead of digging the sound, and did. While the coppers carried out their grand tour of all central London's banks, the robbers were busy breaching the 2-foot-thick reinforced concrete floor of the Baker Street vault, using some highly specialised...
They didn't see anything, they didn't hear anything, because the lookouts, the vaults, had found about 260 open safe deposit boxes and a hole in the floor of the vault.
The robbers had got away with it. But how much had they got away with?
Today's prices, the top estimate of the vault was about 30.
A large little earner. And it seems this particular crew plays the big force.
It was an idea of a little jump to kind of pass the shop.
I gotta say, it looks pretty rough, so I'm gonna have to do an awful lot of filling in and cleaning up, but I think it'll be worth it. Yeah, this hasn't worked out nearly as well as I'd hoped. There are a lot of big gaps in it and it doesn't fit together at the top, so there's going to be a lot of work to try and make it blend in. So what I'm going to do is use the old baking soda and super glue trick.
There's a bug on fleet on our tail. Let's hang up on it. I can relate to that. Guys just want to be close to it. I've turned my charisma down a notch. Let's just get bored and drift away. It looks like a bad underdog. Okay. Now what? Without the computer, we're defenseless. Oh yes, assuming that of course. Then they just pop round out of the pit. It'll be inspiring rage in a few seconds. Okay, well let's not hang about. Get the computer back in. We'll weight was such that shortly after it was erected, the ground beneath the letters caved in and they dropped for nearly half their length through the underground offices of many talented young complaints executives, now deceased. The protruding upper halves of the letters now appear in the local language to read, "Don't stick your head in a pig," and are no longer illuminated, except at times of special celebration. At these times of special celebration, fire a robot in the company sound, share and enjoy. Unfortunately, then, another of these including the special anti-special payment means that the robot voice box only slightly work. One of the serious catalytic corporation's creations is the nutrimatic drink dispenser.
Mr. Bannerman? Baines is quite right. Your turn. Which common British place-made element derives from the Latin for camp or walled house? Yes, definitely right.
Down into. It wouldn't have been too difficult to get the skeleton out,
Yes.
and it was.
These people must have known that the tree was there.
Yes, otherwise you don't pick up the body you just killed and walk in the wood and find a hole in the tree, do you?
No. Conjure up Professor Worrell Cutton, expert in paganism and witchcraft, to see whether cutting. I asked, how much of an effort did the local constabulary make?
I can't remember that it was 3,000 or 8,000 lots of records I went through. Picture. which they made up.
Can I see it?
It's a brown skirt, and she had a peach petticoat
Right.
in taffeta, and she had a striped knitted cardigan. Oh, and there was a cheap wedding ring,
The police must also have asked themselves
and
whether...
what it might have been like.
I mean, they must have been fairly confident
Long way to go.
put this out to the public. Whether
in the human body are affected by the condition phlebitis. Soldier, courtier, and favourite of Elizabeth I, was executed in 1601. What type of weather condition are the har, H-A-R, and fret? The word from which we now hear the opening song was actually the first to be performed at the New Savoy Theatre, transferring there in late 1881, and supposedly becoming thereby the first theatrical performance to be lit by electric light. Fennel and celery all belong to the Apiaceae, or umbellifera. Tell us one of them. And now let's see how the scores have changed. They're these: 3 to Mr. Mayor, 7 to Mr. Mr. Mayor, it's your turn. In digital technology, which you either know it or you don't. Mr. Thompson?
SMS.
No. No. Heads are shaken all around. MP3 is the answer. Mr. Thompson, which colleague and eventually... Appropriately for our final program, we now hear the finale of one of his symphonies. It was written in haste in late 1783 when Mozart and his wife broke a return journey to Vienna, and their host requested a symphony as a nickname.
Makes the night seem twice as bright and days go by much quicker. Honey from the honeycomb, water from the fountain, sugar from the coffee and brandy food. Just make it honey clover. Only one dog gets the spoon, all the rest goes order. When the days are complicated, every night goes orderly. Honey from the honeycomb, water from the fountain, sugar from the sugar cane, and the water's all around her. Lots to keep returning, drive the weird chill away, just like the log fire burning. Honey from the honeycomb, water from the fountain, sugar from the
Family of the Footlights and their fight for security and happiness against the concrete.
Listed all of them. The last one was made, unassisted double play. It was made in 1968 by Ron Hansen, who was a shortstop for the Washington Senators at that time, versus the Cleveland Indians.
That sounds like news of the day.
Yeah, well, just
Sports fans, this is Seth Burns with another tour of the sports world and a look at the highlights and sidelights.
fellow does need an introduction. Seems like wherever I go, nobody's heard of me.
Well, now there's a bit of inside dope we find a little hard to believe in the sports room, Skip. After all, it's not every day in a week that a fellow keeps a yo-yo going for 42.
Yeah, that came out very much more easily than I was expecting. Oh, good. Almost. Come up to it. What's that? Screws. Very interesting. It is a beautiful thing. Here. Oh, look at all those gears and everything in there. Oh, lovely. Unfortunately, I don't think it's working anymore, but it did work very well for about 50 years, so I could get it going again. Oh, that's very nice.
He was even more surprised when a few minutes later the Earth was unexpectedly demolished to make way for a new hyperspace bypass. But this was as nothing to their joint surprise when they were rescued from certain death by Steadfast, the Magrathian coastline designer.
Yeah, ruffle shirt bandit has struck again. We better roll. Right. Gee, I'll bet the cleaning woman locked it when she was finished in here. Probably didn't know we were still working.
Guess we'll have to make a roll out of it.